Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're delving into a pressing question. Did sanctions break Russia after all? We'll explore the recent developments surrounding cash payments, accusations, and reduced payments to key figures in Russia's economy. So let's dive right in. According to sources from Financial Times, cash payments, or rather their absence, played a crucial role in the Wagner leader Prigozhin's march on Moscow. But what does that mean? It seems that the Chechen leader, Kadyrov, publicly accused Prigozhin of prioritizing his business interests over the national interest. So why did the Kremlin reduce payments to Prigozhin? Could it be due to a lack of funds, or possibly a result of the sanctions imposed on Russia? Kadyrov's accusations against Prigozhin raise eyebrows, as they may have implication on Russia's economic stability. If the Kremlin is indeed cutting payments to Prigozhin, it begs the question of how sanctions may be impacting the Russian economy. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. To gain a clearer picture, let's investigate some possible reasons for the Kremlin's decision. The Kremlin's choice to reduce payments to Prigozhin may be multifaceted. One plausible explanation could be that the Russian government is facing financial constraints, potentially due to the impact of sanctions. If funds are scarce, this reduction in payments may be a way for the government to cut costs and allocate resources more strategically. However, this is just one possibility, and we need to explore other angles as well. Now that we've examined the context of cash payments, Prigozhin's involvement, and Kadyrov's accusations, we must address a crucial point. Are sanctions truly affecting Russia's economy to the point of breaking it? To find out, we need to explore the impact of sanctions on Russia's economic performance. The impact of sanctions on Russia's economy has been a subject of significant debate. Many experts argue that the sanctions imposed by various countries have indeed taken a toll on Russia's economic stability. Sanctions can restrict trade, access to financial markets, and limit investments, which can result in reduced economic growth and financial strain for the country. However, to better grasp the true impact, we must evaluate the reliability of Russia's GDP data. Russia's official GDP figures, reported by the Russian government, have been a subject of skepticism in recent years, especially given the geopolitical situation and potential motivations for obscuring economic realities. While prior to the 2022 invasion, Russia's economic statistics were generally considered reliable, concerns arose when crucial data sets, such as electricity consumption and imports, were published after the invasion. This led many to question whether Russia was manipulating its GDP statistics to downplay the impact of sanctions and other economic challenges. In light of the doubts surrounding official GDP figures, economists and researchers turned to alternative data sources to gain a more accurate understanding of Russia's economic performance. These alternative data sets include pollution data from Russian factories, consumer banking spending statistics, import data from trading partners, household data, and even Google searches related to employment. By analyzing these unconventional indicators, researchers sought to form a more comprehensive picture of Russia's economy, independent of official government data. Tracking pollution from Russian factories using satellite imagery provided a unique perspective on the health of Russia's economy. The decline in pollution levels in various industries, particularly civilian sectors like the automotive industry, indicated a discrepancy between the official statistics and the actual economic activity on the ground. Such deviations suggest that the Russian economy may have performed worse than the official numbers indicate. However, it is important to note that pollution data alone may not be a definitive measure, and ideally, a combination of alternative data sources should be considered for a more robust analysis. By now, we've examined the potential impact of sanctions on Russia's economy and questioned the reliability of its official GDP data. The use of alternative data sources has shed light on the discrepancies between reported statistics and the actual economic conditions on the ground. However, estimating the true extent of sanctions impact remains a challenging task. In the next segment, we will delve further into the various estimation techniques used to quantify the damage inflicted by sanctions on Russia's economy. To gain further insight into Russia's economic performance, ECB economist Adrian Smith and researcher Hanna Sachno developed an innovative approach. They created an alternative tracker for Russia's economy, relying on a variety of different data sets, including pollution data, consumer bank card spending statistics, import data, and Google searches for unemployment, among other things. This tracker aimed to provide a more comprehensive view of the economic situation without relying solely on data provided by Russia Official Statistics Agency. What's intriguing is that the alternative tracker closely matched official data before the 2022 invasion. However, after the invasion, the tracker's performance started to diverge from the official statistics. This discrepancy suggested that the Russian economy may have performed worse than the government claimed. While this data is enlightening, it's essential to consider that the tracker's accuracy needs to be validated and tested in various contexts, as it is not yet a peer-reviewed scientific study. This transition from a civilian economy to a war economy can significantly impact economic indicators. It's plausible that the focus on military spending in 2022 could have affected official statistics, potentially explaining the deviations between the alternative tracker and reported figures. This shift in spending priorities might have masked the true economic impact of sanctions, making it even more challenging to estimate the actual damage inflicted. Determining the precise impact of sanctions on Russia's economy poses significant challenges for economists. Unlike natural scientists, who can conduct controlled experiments, macroeconomists don't have access to an alternate reality where Russia was sanctioned and invaded Ukraine but faced no sanctions. Consequently, researchers have used various imperfect estimation techniques, including comparing actual GDP figures to pre-war predictions and creating mathematical models to simulate the impact of sanctions. The diverse estimation methods have produced varying results, leaving economists without a definitive answer. The average estimate suggests that sanctions may have reduced Russia's GDP by around 7.37%. However, it's crucial to acknowledge the flaws in these calculations and the lack of a proper counterfactual. The complexity of geopolitical situations and the scarcity of reliable data make it nearly impossible to pinpoint the exact influence of sanctions on Russia's economy. We've delved into the alternative tracker for Russia's economy and explored the potential discrepancies between official data and these alternative indicators. Additionally, we've considered the challenges economists face when trying to estimate the damage caused by sanctions. In the final segment of this video, we will draw conclusions and discuss the broader implications of the current economic situation in Russia. The absence of a counterfactual poses a significant challenge for economists when studying the impact of sanctions on Russia's economy. In natural sciences, researchers can conduct experiments with controlled settings, but in macroeconomics, we cannot create an alternate reality where Russia faced sanctions but remained unaffected by them. As a result, economists have to rely on imperfect estimation techniques, which can lead to a wide range of results and uncertainties. To estimate the impact of sanctions on Russia's economy, economists have employed three primary methods. The first involves comparing Russia's actual economic performance with pre-war predictions, assuming that in the absence of sanctions, the economy would have rebounded from the COVID impact and shown significant growth. The second approach utilizes mathematical models to simulate the effect of sanctions on various economic indicators. Lastly, some researchers have suggested considering oil prices as a proxy for understanding the economic impact, given Russia's heavy reliance on energy exports. Despite the flaws in the estimation techniques, researchers have attempted to arrive at a reasonably reliable estimate for the impact of sanctions on Russia's GDP. The combined average of the flawed estimates points to a possible contraction of 7.37 in Russia's economy. It's important to stress that this number should be taken with caution due to the limitations and uncertainties inherent in the methods used. As we mentioned earlier, oil prices play a crucial role in Russia's economic performance, given its heavy dependence on energy exports. Historically, when oil prices were high, Russia's economy tended to grow rapidly, and vice versa. Understanding the correlation between oil prices and economic indicators can provide valuable insights into the potential impact of sanctions. However, it's crucial to remember that correlation does not necessarily imply causation, and various other factors can also influence Russia's economic health. A 7.37 contraction in Russia's economy, if accurate, would have significant implications on the country's economic health. Such a decline can result in reduced employment opportunities, lower consumer spending, and potential budget deficits for the government. Additionally, a shrinking economy may lead to decreased investments, hampering long-term economic growth and development. The well-being of the population could be adversely affected, and social tensions may rise due to economic hardships. The estimate underscores the severity of the challenges Russia is facing, and it highlights the urgency for effective measures to address the economic downturn. Sanctions not only impact the broader economy, but also affect the government's ability to meet its financial obligations. With reduced access to international financial markets and restrictions on trade, the government may struggle to secure funding for essential public services and infrastructure projects. Sanctions can lead to higher borrowing costs and, in some cases, even difficulties in repaying existing debts. Moreover, the reduction in revenues from exports due to sanctions may force the government to make tough decisions regarding budget allocation and spending priorities. While sanctions are undoubtedly a critical factor, other explanations contribute to the current chaos in Russia. The war performance and outcomes on the ground, internal conflicts, and political dynamics within the country can all play substantial roles. Wars and internal conflicts can disrupt supply chains, lead to decreased military spending, and divert resources away from civilian needs, affecting economic performance. Moreover, political decisions and power struggles can influence government policies and responses to economic challenges. Therefore, it's essential to consider a broader context when analyzing Russia's current situation. As we've seen throughout this analysis, macroeconomics faces significant limitations when it comes to explaining complex global affairs. Unlike natural sciences with controlled experiments, macroeconomists are often confined to imperfect data and counterfactuals. Geopolitical events are influenced by numerous interrelated factors, and isolating the precise impact of specific variables can be nearly impossible. Therefore, while macroeconomics can offer valuable insights and estimates, it cannot fully capture the intricacies of real-world situations. In conclusion, the estimate of a 7.37% contraction in Russia's economy due to sanctions raises critical questions about the country's economic health and the implications of these measures on the government's financial obligations. However, we must remain cautious about drawing definitive conclusions, as alternative explanations and complexities in global affairs deserves consideration. As we continue to explore these topics, let's acknowledge the limitations of macroeconomics in understanding the full scope of geopolitical challenges. We hope this video has provided you with a comprehensive perspective of the impact of sanctions on Russia and the complexities surrounding the issue. As always, we encourage you to remain informed and engage in open dialogue to foster a deeper understanding of global events. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue providing thought-provoking analysis on critical topics. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay curious and informed.